This meeting will now come to order. Would anyone like to utilize open forum at this time? Okay, we'll move into the approval of the minutes. The minutes will put in the box today. Are there any corrections to the minutes from last week? Seeing none, the minutes are now marked approved and corrected. We'll move into our reports from the officers, starting with our president.
I think wait, during open forum, we're not. Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
You can go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, you.
Before.
Okay.
Hey guys, Allie, Human Science.
Smith, liberal arts.
We are serving as the chaplains this year, which is really exciting. Today we're just gonna kind of tell y'all like our journey with the Lord and like what we want to get out of this. But I know we talked about how we mainly want to just like lift all of you up and like same vice versa. Like I want to pour into y'all, like whether y'all are older than me or not, and like I would love for it to be reciprocated. But for myself, it never was really like anything huge happened in my life, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I believe in God. It was more so like the realization of like, even if God's not real, my life is better with Him in it, and like with His commands and etc. My favorite Bible verse that has changed my life is probably 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young, but instead be an example to all believers in what you say and the way you live, and your love, your faith, and your purity. And that's really changed my life. And I would love for anyone to text me or tell me.
Yeah. So I'm basically like the same thing. I agree with her. I've been fortunate enough to come from a home where my mom's worked hard enough to like, or not have to face any adversity, I guess, in a sense. But one thing she's kind of instilled is like a cornerstone of our like principles is like faith and faith in God. And so it's kind of helped me through like several challenges. But even if you're not, like, we still want you to be a part of this like journey, like experience. So we're thinking about doing like a group meet where we might send like things like, hey, let's grab Chick-fil-A before, Senate meetings, or let's grab breakfast in the morning. I don't know. Never mind, I'll take that back. But just like little things like that, and just encouragement to like show, like we're here for you, if that makes sense.
And prayer requests, we're probably send a thing for that.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Like a form.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll do like a form for like prayer requests. So, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. So now we move into our reports from our officers, starting with the president.
Hey all, we just had our first cabinet, which was super exciting. Jill killed it. It's really cool to have that room full and be able to get to work. So a lot of them are really excited to work with y'all. So excited to have SGA kind of full now. Two things. The celebration of excellence and diversity is April 26th at 6 p.m. and the Lavender celebration is April 27th at 5 p.m. If you have any questions about that, you can come to me or an idea on that. The student memorial service will be on April 30th at 5 p.m. That's the Sunday afternoon before finals week. And so any of you are welcome to come to that. Board of Trustees meetings this week will be on Friday, and then President Roberts' installation on Thursday. That's it for me. Thank y'all.
Next, we have our treasurer, but Ashton's not here. But if y'all are attending Big Man on campus, look out for Ashton. He's representing Chi Omega. Next, we have a report from Chief of Staff.
Hello. Not much for me. Like John David said, we just had our first cabinet meeting, which was super exciting. And it was really awesome to see our room finally filled during cabinet meetings. Something else to have on your agenda is, and Maddie might touch on this more, but we are going to have up all night during finals week, and so we are going to need some volunteers. And so I would love anyone and everyone who's willing to come and help pass out donuts and orange juice to be on the lookout for that sign up form. Thank y'all.
Okay, next, our report from outreach.
Okay, not too much from me, but to reiterate what Jill said, Up All Night is coming up. It's going to be March 30th through April 4th. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. April 30th through May 4th. So we will send out the volunteer sign-up sheet sometime next week. And then also the annual State of Inclusion Diversity is on April 20th. Now, Katie, my Assistant Vice President of Feedback and Assessment, is going to give a quick recap on the different types of research that are being used.
Hey guys, my name is Katie Romstocker, and I'm serving as this year's AVP of Feedback and Assessment, pending your confirmation. This is my email and my phone number. If you ever need to reach me, feel free to shoot me an email or a text. Always happy to respond. And I oversee Auburn Answers as well as benchmarking, survey design, and Auburn Answers polls. So those are kind of our types of research. We do surveys. I'm sure in your time at Auburn, you've all received some type of survey. We also do benchmarking reports, which is where we look at our peer and aspirant institutions and see how they approach issues or see how they handle things. And lastly, Auburn Answers polls. These polls are located in Auburn Answers, and so when you pull up that main screen, it lets you know there are polls that you can participate in. Okay, so this is how to request research from my team. You'll log into AU Involve, and then on the SGA page, scroll down and find the SGA Researching and Benchmarking Request form. And then this is what we'll pull up. You'll fill out your name, your position, and your email if you have a committee chair. And then also you can select however many feedback or research things that you would like. Just depends on what you're looking for. And then these are kind of the 3 pages that it will take you to. And it just really depends on what type of survey or research you're looking for. And you'll just fill out this information and
Thank you.
some things to remember, be as detailed as possible. If you have example questions that you would like us to use, if you have specific institutions you would like us looking at, please include those. Any detail you have is great, and it makes it a lot easier on my team, and we can have probably a faster turnaround for you. We would love for you to fill out the request form at least 3 weeks before you need your results. We will try to work on a as submitted basis, and so if you submit something and you say I need it in a week, we might already be working on things that people have submitted a long time ago, and so we're not just going to stop that research to start yours. And then one thing we're really going to focus on also is sending you a confirmation email when we see that you've submitted a request, and then when we begin working on it, just so you know when we've started our process, and you can kind of be on the lookout for a time frame and anything like that. And that just keeps you kind of in the loop. Any questions? Awesome. Email me, text me if you need me. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Katie. Y'all feel free to reach out to her, Maddie, or me, and I can send you their emails, but I'll send them out in the recap email tomorrow. So now we'll move into committee reports, starting with academic affairs.
Rudolph Engineering, not much academic affairs this week. Had a really good week so far and a great week last week. Coming in as future orders, we do have PSSC 23041701 and PSSC 23041702. These have been 2 living and breathing documents that the academic affairs team has really matched their passion with and put a lot of good work in. Now, both of these 2 items will be having on the floor amendments next week. So we ask you please collaborate with us over the next week as you see changes that you might want to see within those accommodations. We would greatly appreciate that. We began the process of gathering feedback, using our ABA feedback assessments, and we thank her for coming tonight, and informing us how to use those different processes. We currently have 2 items with her, looking to have her 4 by the end of the week, so we apologize ahead of time if we're bombarding you. We're going to get there shortly. I had a meeting with the engineering student services team, also had a meeting with the engineering scholarship office as well, looking at how the college of engineering goes about handling some of their presentation and their scholarship awards. We also, I want to do a big shout out to the academic affairs team. They have really been matching their passion with their work ethic over the last couple of weeks. We're doing great things. And then we kind of created a new meeting process within our committee. So each month, we have a collaborative meeting with our academic counterparts. We have a working meeting. Then we go to have a policy meeting, and then we have an agenda type meeting. So that's been really exciting lately. They have really been loving that feedback. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, we have budget and finance.
Federal business, no report.
Code of laws.
Hearing at large. We're continuing kind of just work on those projects that we've had over the last term up to date. We're working on code adjustments, language changes, things like that. There will be 2 current orders, 1 future order coming across tonight. We're continuing to work in collaboration with student leaders on crosswalks and making improvements there, as well as election law. That's an ongoing process, and we're continuing to collaborate with Liz on that too. Thank you.
Next, we have DEI.
Inman business, no report.
Student affairs.
Golden at large. So with athletics, we are working on the SAC liaison. Julianne's been helping us a lot with that, and we're starting that conversation going. And they're looking to someone to fill that position actually, and they have a meeting coming up. And then Case and Will are also working on the baseball tailgate experience in the off season. We're going to try to improve that. So if y'all have any feedback at all with that, we definitely need that. So with dining, pajama party is the theme for late night at the Edge. That is the Sunday before finals. So show up to that, wear pajamas. And we're going to be trying to work on some benchmarking going forward with the library and looking at some 24-hour food options for the library moving forward. Health and wellness, we had a great meeting with Dr. Cam and his team at the med clinic this week. The biggest thing they were stressing is they need feedback because they do not have a really reliable way to get feedback. They don't have a review system. So if you have feedback regarding anything to do with the med clinic, let us know and we'll pass that along. And then Georgia is working on a resolution for BBFD. And then with housing, Macy set up a meeting with the executive director of campus housing. We're looking to start a conversation there with them to get some clarity on future plans with campus housing. And then with campus safety, like Kara touched on, we're working on figuring out the 320 problem. And right now we're thinking about getting a traffic officer in high volume times. So probably Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays at lunch from around like 10 to 12 is a pretty bad time. So we might go to City Hall and advocate for that. So as always, if you all have any feedback or anything, but thank you all.
Thanks, Jen. So that concludes our committee reports. We're going to move into liaison reports, starting with Honors Congress.
Last week, we conducted our chair interviews, and then we had our Chipotle benefit night for Relay for Life. This week, we have our academic committee hosting a movie night. They're going to be watching a movie in Mel 2510 at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. They're watching Birdemic Shock and Terror. We've also appointed our new chairs and directors for this upcoming. I have my presentation for confirmation. So our mission is basically we're a student government inside the Honors College, and we want to facilitate social, philanthropic, and intellectual enrichment of all of our students within a school. So that's kind of our purpose of this organization. And then who do we represent? There's a little longer than 1,600 students in the Honors College, and it's a very diverse group of folks that don't get a lot of say and they don't have a huge voice. And then our structure, So we have our 5 main exec, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and Senate liaison. And then we have our chairs and our directors. So our chairs will have committees, and then our directors don't have committees because they kind of work as a team and they're co-directors, or in the case of recruitment director, we have a head and an assistant. And then the need for a liaison. So the Honors College and Congress, we want to have our voice and, give feedback and create a strong bond within SGA in order to serve our some barriers that we've faced in the past is issues with liaisons coming back, talking to our exec, and then coming back to Senate. Some things that we've done to combat this is we have to write reports, and then my vice president every Friday and review it, and then let me know about it, and then some milestones and aspirations. So we want to have recruitment of our organization, obviously, and then we also want to work on retention of those members. We want to make sure that they feel like we are a part of their community, and that will support them in all endeavors of their home. So we also want to create a level of culture. So that's going into making sure that we're not just like a resume filler, that we actually support them and they feel like they get something out of the Honors Congress, that isn't just, hey, this looks nice on my resume. And then we want to emphasize student involvement not only in our organization, but our other honors organizations and other organizations also. We really just want to make sure our members find their community, whether or not that is in the Honors Congress or not. And then we want to encourage creative autonomy, so we want to make sure that our committees are serving its members in those committees and not just what the chairs and leaders of those committees actually do. So collaboration, we have Honor Serves, which is basically just a philanthropic organization, the Honors College. Diversity and Honors, which promotes education for diverse topics, and then collaborations with SGA. We've also been working on gathering feedback from our members through an anonymous Qualtrics form that's available to them at any time throughout the year. So if they have anything they'd like to see in their communities or any issues that they want to bring to them, they'll just fill out that form. We also have an open forum at the beginning of all our meetings, and we provide an open line of contact between us and the chairs and us and the members, and then also between chairs and members. And then lastly, some notable accomplishments. So our formal was April 1st at the Alumni Center. We also had 2 Wednesday nights, Chocolate Mama, and then we had a day for midterm breakfast. And then our forum committee did a lot this year. They were starting on to raise expenses for them. They participated in Dividend, Garden in the Park, which is just watching and taking care of dogs for a couple hours. And then they had 2 fundraising events for Relay for Life, the Chipotle Benefit Night, and the Sweet Pie Treat. And they also volunteered for House of Heroes, which basically is going to homes of veterans and restoring them. We also had some relevance, so introduction midterms, intramural sports, game nights, and then high school final. We've also been working to revamp our Instagram and with that. And we have continued accountability measures for all of our exec and leadership that are called Honors Hours, where they submit what they've done in the past week.
Thank you, Lena. Next up, we have our report from Student Veterans Association.
Right, well, ASVA, nothing to report.
So now we'll move into our current order of business. This bill is brought to you by Senator Yon.
John CLA, ask your approval of the following. Chapter 202, Executive Officers' Responsibilities, 202.1, the President add in collaboration with the Vice President and Treasurer, of the Student Government Association, South Point, with approval of 2/3 of the membership of the Student Senate, additional executive officers, may be removed from office at any time by the President of the Student Government Association. 202.1.1, in order to remain eligible to serve in the position, all executive officers must either be enrolled or be working at the University of Auburn during the summer term and conduct their regular office hours. The judicial branch will interpret exceptions to this rule. 202.1.2, the additional executive officers and responsibilities shall be 202.1.2.1, the executive vice president of initiatives that receives all initiative projects and develop reports for SGA and University. 202.1.2.2, the executive strike vice president of communications and marketing add to the staff that oversees the internal operations of SGA cabinet, the recruitment of new members, as well as the development of current members, the marketing and promotion of all SGA efforts, projects, and other events. 202.1.2.3, the executive vice president of outreach oversees SGA campus relations, ministerial relations, campus feedback, and planning of outreach projects. Strike 202.1.2.4, the executive vice president of cabinet administration oversees internal operations of SGA cabinet, the recruitment of members, and the development of current members.
Is there a second? Bill is moved and seconded to adopt the bill that was just read. Is there any debate?
Trentwell Business, just a point of inquiry, sorry. Do you think that the first line could cause more confusion than clarification with the code and upholding the code?
So that line was kind of workshop with the executive officers. We thought it would be kind of unnecessary to like create like a system where it's like 2 to 1, you have to have like 2 votes and then they confirm. We just wanted to ensure that in case there was a president down the road that decided to like that they would solely appoint the EPPs without any collaboration with the vice president and treasurer, that they would have to like look at the code, because in the constitution and the code it does say the president appoints. So like we just wanted to make sure that there was at least something that people could point to and say like we have a say in this, even though it is the president's role. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is there any further debate? Okay, seeing no more debate, we'll go into a vote on campus quiz. The ayes have it, and this bill is now adopted. Next current order of business is also brought to you by Senator Yon.
Ask for approval of the following: 300.1.6 technician, 300.1.6.1. Technician shall be appointed by the president of the student senate and approved by the majority of the students. 300.1.6.1.1. This appointment shall not be from membership of the student senate. 300.1.6.2. The senate technicians are responsible for recording and submitting all voting procedures, strike and submit to the president, senate president, SGA, and master forms. Strike recording all voting procedures via strike, iClicker, add a method chosen by the senate president. Strike and submitting to the president pro tem, senate president, and SGA webmaster following each meeting. 300.1.6.3, second edition shall be expected to attend all student senate meetings and assist the senate president and executive secretary with meeting preparations if need arises.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill that was just read. Is there any debate? By seeing there's no debate, we'll move into a vote also on your campus quiz. The ayes have it, and this bill has been adopted. We'll move on to the next current order of business, PSSB 2304-1004. This bill is brought to you by Senator Smith.
PSSB 2304-1004. Ask for approval of the following. 2023 to 2024 Student Senate Academic Affairs Committee. Committee Chair, Talon Rudolph, College of Engineering. Members, Adebowale Samuel Oyerind, Graduate School. Emma Francis Zellner, College of Business. Madison Pedra, College of Pharmacy. Michael T. Flanagan, College of Education.
Is there a second? Now that it's moved and seconded, is there any debate?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Ralph Engineering, I move to amend the bill as follows by adding the name Clayton Ramey to the list in the College of Engineering.
Is there a second? Second. Now that it's moved and seconded, is there any debate?
On Vickery,
Yes.
Rudolph Engineering, just for, make sure I have my record straight, who did we remove off of the committee in the beginning of the year? Where'd she go? She was it? I can't remember there was a name. I want to make sure that we have it fixed already in the other bill. Because you made a swap before.
She was on both
Okay,
committees,
so that's
so she'll be on the other one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So now we'll go into a vote in this amendment. Raise your hand for yes, if yes, and raise your hand for no. Okay. Okay. So this amendment is adopted. So now moving back to legislation at hand, is there any debate on context of this legislation? All right, seeing no debate, we'll go into a vote on campus. All right, the ayes have it, and this bill will be adopted. We'll move on to our next current order of business. This bill is brought to you by Senator Zellner.
Zellner's Business, PSSB 2304-1005. I ask for the approval of the following. 2023 to 2024 Student Senate Budget and Finance Committee. Committee Chair, Thomas Treadwell, College of Business. Members, Connor Knighton, College of Business. Gunnar Smith, College of Engineering. Hunter Riles, College of Agriculture. Isabella Price, College of Engineering. Donovan Smith, College of Liberal Arts. Mary Emma Taylor, College of Human Sciences. And Trey Schlimmer, College of Business.
Is there a second? Now that it has been moved and seconded, is there any debate? Seeing no debate, we'll move into a vote. Okay, the ayes have it, and this bill will now be adopted. Now, our next current order of business is brought to you by Senator Dobbin.
Today, CLA. I ask for approval of the following 2023-2024 Student Senate Code of Laws Committee. Committee Chair Kara Herring, at large. Members Clay Rainey, College of Engineering. Ethan Laney, College of Sciences and Mathematics. Jake Yon, College of Liberal Arts. Jenna DeVay, College of Liberal Arts. Rosie Harrison, College of Engineering. And Sophie Marino, College of Sciences and Mathematics.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now that it's been moved and seconded, is there any debate?
Herring at large, I move to amend the bill to strike Clay Rainey College of Engineering.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any debate? If you vote aye, please raise your hand on making this amendment. If you vote no, please raise your hand. Okay, this amendment has now been adopted. And now moving back to the legislation at hand, please vote in this campus quiz. The ayes have it, and the bill will be adopted. Next, we'll move on to our next current order of business, brought to you by Senator Walden. She's not here. And so is Lucy. Can I present the bill? So I'm going to present the bill on behalf of Senator Alford and Walden. I ask for approval of the following 2023-2024 Student Senate Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Committee Chair Carter Inman, College of Business. Members Isabel Price, College of Engineering. Michael T. Flanagan, College of Education. Rosie Harrison, College of Engineering. And Cindy Rooks, College of Forestry, Wildlife, and Environment. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any debate? All right, seeing there's no debate, you can now vote in the campus quiz. The ayes have it, and this bill will now be adopted. Moving on to our next current order of business, brought to you by Senator Pedra. Also not here. Okay, so I'll present it on behalf of Senator Pedra and Alford. I ask for approval of the following 2023-2024 Student Senate Student Affairs Committee. Committee Chair Jack Hilton, at large. Members Ebb Counts, College of Engineering. Georgia Cordell, at large. Haley Walden, College of Liberal Arts. Kay Sharico, at large. Macy Brokamp, College of Nursing. Cindy Rooks, College of Forestry, Wildlife, and Environment. Vera Smith T, College of Sciences and Mathematics. Will Franklin, College of Business. Is there a second? Now that has been moved and seconded, is there any debate? Seeing no debate, we'll move into a vote. On campus. The ayes have it, and this bill will be adopted. Moving on to our last current order of business, this bill is brought to you by Senator Flanagan.
Equity in Education, PSSB 23041009. I ask for approval of the following 2023-2024 Senate Executive Committee. Committee Chair, Lucy Alford at large. Members, Kara Herring, Co-Sam, Carter Inman, College of Business, Jack Hilton at large, Thomas Treadwell, College of Business, Tyler Rudolph, College of Engineering.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there any debate?
Hilton at large. I move to strike COSAM by Kara's name and add at large.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any debate? All the ayes, please raise your hand. All the noes, please raise your hand. Okay, the ayes have it and this bill will be amended. Now going back to the legislation at hand, is there any debate? Okay, we'll now move into a vote on the canvas quiz. The ayes have it and this bill will be adopted. Next in order is future orders of business. PSSC 23041701. This commendation is brought to you by Senator Rudolph and Flanagan.
PSSC 23041701. Commendation to Dr. Taffy Benson Clayton. Whereas Dr. Taffy Benson Clayton is the inaugural Vice President and Associate Provost for Inclusion and Diversity at Auburn University. Dr. Clayton and her team are tasked with strengthening Auburn diversity and inclusion footprint within the institution nationally. Whereas Dr. Clayton held the position of Associate Provost and Chief Diversity Officer at East Carolina University and Associate Vice Chancellor of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Whereas Dr. Clayton has worked at large institutions as an executive administrator overseeing diversity and inclusion initiatives for more than 25 years. She has helped students, teachers, staff, and the community, tourists, and alumni. Whereas Dr. Clayton is and has been the senior advisor to the provost, president, and other senior university leadership on matters of diversity and inclusion. She is also designated executive leader for managing the university's diversity and inclusion strategy. Whereas Dr. Clayton is known nationally for her presentations on faculty diversity, recruitment, and retention, integrating diversity and inclusion in higher education institutions, strategically positioning diversity and inclusion and translating corporate diversity and inclusion promising practices into the higher education context. Whereas Dr. Clayton is the current co-chair of the membership committee of the National Association of Diversity Officers in Higher Education, NADOHE, and program chair of the Diversity and Inclusion Strategist Executive Council of the Conference Board of a global independent business membership and research organization. Whereas Dr. Clayton serves on the executive committee of APLU's Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and is the governor for the SEC VP CDO group with representation from senior cabinet level DEI leaders from universities throughout the Southeastern Athletic Conference. Therefore, let it be known that we, the Auburn University Student Senate, commend Dr. Taffy Benson Clayton for her outstanding leadership and efforts in developing a 5-year strategic plan to create a campus that is equitable and works for students and faculty and staff from all backgrounds. Therefore, let it be known that we, the Auburn University Student Senate, commend Dr. Taffy Benson Clayton for hosting the first community inclusion event in April 2022, bringing together the university leaders who are advocating and who are advancing DEI in Auburn for our students, campus, and community. This presentation describes the developments of significant DEI issues to date and the institutional level strategic steps Auburn has made to create a community where all individuals are valued, respected, and enabled to flourish personally and professionally. This summary, which was created by the Office of Inclusion and Diversity in collaboration with university leadership, highlights progress Auburn has made recently, particularly since the Presidential Task Force was established in 2020. Since then, new initiatives, scholarships, hiring procedures, and campus policies have been implemented to foster a more accepting campus environment. Therefore, let it be resolved that we, the Auburn University Student Senate, commend Dr. Taffy Vincent Clayton for forever improving the Auburn University student and staff experience while also practically working to eliminate barriers facing underrepresented and marginalized community members.
Are there any questions on this future order?
Just to add some collaboration to the room, this has been a really active document. We will be doing a full amendment to the majority of this on the floor as a current member next week. We want to make sure that the vocabulary is very fitting, to not only ensure that we give Dr. Clayton her proper props, but as well as make sure that it fits campus climate, what we choose to do and how we serve, promote, and unify all of Auburn here within the SGA Senate. Any questions, concerns? Great, thank you.
Seeing no questions, we'll move on to the next commendation. This is also brought to you by Senator Rudolph and Flanagan.
I'm back. PSFC 23041702, commendation for Dr. Benny Nathan. Whereas Dr. Benny Nathan began serving as Auburn University's interim provost and vice president for academic affairs in March of 2022. Since 2011, Dr. Nathan has served as the dean of the McWhorter Chair of the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction, CAPC. Whereas Dr. Benny Nathan is also a senior professor of architecture and interior architecture as a senior fellow of the Design Futures Council, DFC. Dr. Nathan holds a PhD, major in architecture, minor, urban, and regional planning from the University of Michigan, graduating in 1994, a master's degree in interior design from Virginia Tech, 1990, and a bachelor's degree in architecture from Anna University, 1988. Whereas Nathan supervises the university's triple mission as interim provost and serves as the chief academic officer, which includes providing academic oversight for Auburn University's campus. Whereas Dr. Nathan makes sure the institution maintains the highest level of intellectual engagement, outreach, and teaching and learning programs by working with our faculty, staff, students, alumni, and other stakeholders. Whereas Dr. Nathan collaborates closely with other members of the provost team, as well as the deans of the university's 12 colleges and/or schools, shared governance groups, university administrators, and student leaders in carrying out these duties. Whereas Dr. Nathan oversees the university's tenure promotion procedures, in addition to overseeing several faculty-related problems, including academic policy, accreditation, strategic planning, educational services and resources, outreach, and research. Therefore, let it be resolved that we, the Auburn University Student Senate, commend Dr. Benny Nathan's diligence, hard work, and efforts in her interim role as Provost and Vice President of the Academic Affairs School. Therefore, let it be resolved that furthermore, Auburn SGA looks forward to her potential permanent leadership at Auburn University.
Are there any questions on this future order?
Just to provide a little more context, this bill will also be having some more active amendments by the Academic Affairs team. Based off feedback that you gathered, we really want to ensure that all vocabulary used for accommodations furthermore fits what we need to do here as an organization within SGA. Also making sure that, as with two very important administrators, that we not only describe their goals right, but also make sure our intentions and our motives are clear when we have this commendation. Thank you, guys.
Moving on to our next future order of business. This bill is brought to you by Senator Laney.
Laney, COSAM. I ask for approval of the following. 500.1.2, the Strike School at Harrison College of Pharmacy's Strike School at Student Council shall have 2 vice president positions, 1 reserved for a student who attends the Auburn University campus and 1 reserved for a student who attends the Mobile Satellite campus. Each vice president shall fulfill the duties of their office per the Strike School and Student Council Constitution on the respective campus.
Are there any questions on this future order? Thank you, Ethan. Seeing none, we'll move into our next future order of business. This bill is brought to you by Senator Schlemmer.
Schlemmer Business. Ask for approval of the following. Bennett Harris, Director of Freshman Forum. Ty Tolbert, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Boris Sam Watson, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Deidre Peter, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Elizabeth Eckel, Assistant Director of Freshman Forum. Catherine Turner, Director of Recruitment. Nia Deason, Director of Recruitment. Allie Grace Gentry, Director of Public Relations. Catherine Steele, Director of Public Relations, Corley Williams, Director of Public Relations. Meg O'Keefe, Director of Public Relations, Collins Bradford, Director of Photography, Lily Teeters, Director of Photography, Abby Grace Mashburn, Director of Photography, Laura Beth Warren, Director of Photography, Lily Gant, Director of Social Media, Hollis Gerald, Director of Videography, Ellie Squires, Director of Videography, Megan Webster, Director of Web Design, Cole Wheeler, Director of Auburn Reigns, Carson Steve, Director of Auburn Reigns, Justin Bullock, Director of Financial Projects, Colin Henson, Director of Financial Projects, Luke Smith, Director of Financial Projects, Nick Oblowski, Director of Financial Projects, McKenna Campbell, Director of Academic Affairs, Alyssa Algier, Director of Academic Affairs, Lucy Redden, Director of Academic Affairs, Samuel Woodfin, Director of Academic Affairs, Men's Jones, Director of Athletic Initiatives, Betsy Glenn, Director of Organizational Seating Programs, Ellie Hall, Assistant Director of Organization Seating Programs, Brooke Twiner, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program, Bobby Cook, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program, Owen Beaverstock, Assistant Director of Organizational Seating Program. Riley Parkman, Director of Campus Dining, Evan Smith, Director of Campus Dining, Ben Sobes, Director of Health and Wellness, Miller King, Director of Health and Wellness, Allison Stubbs, Director of University Housing, Landon Miller, Director of Facility Projects, Mary Frances Massey, Director of Parking and Transportation, Mary Holly Post, Director of Safety Initiatives, Kendall Anderson, Director of Sustainability, Jack Stuttle, Director of City Relations, Lane Morton, Director of City Relations, Cole Stacy, Director of Civil Engagement, Emily K. Snyder, Director of Civil Engagement, Gracie Barinko, Director of Government Relations, Annalise Sutherland, Director of Government Relations, McKenna Dempsey, Director of Auburn Answers, Emma Rutledge, Director of Auburn Answers, Wyatt Hardy, Director of Research and Assessment, Elizabeth Casey, Director of Research and Assessment, Ella Horsley, Director of Research and Assessment, Madeline Becko, Director of Payday and Creed Day, Madeline Gamil, Assistant Director of Payday and Creed Day, Carly Flory, Assistant Director of Payday and Creed Day, Haley Barkenthal, Assistant Director of Payday and Creed Day, Manning Smith, Assistant Director of Payday and Creed Day, Lilia Hunter, Director of Outreach Projects, Kendall Hardaway, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Joshua Dutzendorf, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Projects, Emma Pope, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives, Michaela McGruder, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives.
Are there any questions on the future order? All right, seeing none, we'll move into our next future order of business. This bill is brought to you by Senator Knighton.
Line business, PSSG 23041703. I ask for approval of the following: Jackson Reese, College of Art, Design and Construction, Executive Student Council Vice President.
Are there any questions on the future order? All right, thank you. Moving to our next future order of business. This bill is brought to you by Senator Harrison.
Harrison Engineering, PSSB 23041704. I ask for approval of the following: Caroline Jones, College of Art, Design and Construction Center.
Are there any questions on this future order? I'm gonna have Caroline, will you stand up and say your name, college, obviously, and where you're from?
Okay. Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm in CADC. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm a sophomore and my major is environmental design.
Okay, awesome. We're gonna be getting a new senator and we're almost at capacity. We're almost at 34, so that's exciting. Okay, our next future order of business, this bill is brought to you by Senator Riles.
Riles Agriculture asked for the approval of the following: Mac Murphy, Senate Technician; Tracy Stevens, Senate Parliamentarian; Molly McNulty, Senate Secretary.
Are there any questions on this future order? Just for a little bit of clarification, they're the ones that sit up here, Molly. Mac isn't here tonight, but he's the technician that usually sits up here also. Okay, next future order of business, this bill is brought to you by Senator Cordell.
At large, PSSB 3304-1706, I ask for approval of the following: Anna Butterfield, Honors Corners, Lakeland.
Any questions on this future order? Okay, that concludes our future orders for tonight. A couple quick announcements. First of all, don't forget to attend a Senate Executive Committee meeting by the end of the semester. So there's 2 or 3 left. They're on Thursdays at 5 p.m. in the Involvement Suite. Text me or email me if you have any questions about that. Also, feel free to text me or email me about anything at all. And next week is the last day of the regular cycles of future orders for this semester. Keep up your great work, and I'll see y'all next week. You're dismissed.